Hi guys, so this is Emily. Hello, how y'all doing? I haven't uploaded any videos in a long time, and so I wanted to basically vlog about my experience in Las Vegas. I'm going to see the boys win their first Billboard Music Award, alright, for a top social artist, okay. So, what happened was, for me, a lot of my friends were already there, and so I couldn't go there because I had made prior plans to perform and sing at a church for their missions conference in Modesto, California. So I traveled to Modesto, and that was on Saturday, and then Billboard's on Sunday. So I couldn't leave any earlier, you know, and it was a paid gig, and so I have to be there, you know. And there weren't any flights like leaving that night at all. If there was, they were like super duper ridiculously expensive, and it was literally like in the thousands just so that you can get it, like so that you can go on a like flight at the time that you want, you know, like whenever you want. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. And so the latest flight out to Las Vegas from that general area, like Modesto, Stockton, Sacramento, was 6 p.m. and the concert started at 6 p.m. and so I couldn't go, and so what happened was I rented a car, and after I had performed, did my thing, I left, and on my way, like, okay, so from Modesto to Las Vegas is about 7 hours, and on my way to Las Vegas, I got a flat tire, and so I was like live tweeting it, and I was just like, wow, this is crazy. And it was really crazy because I was getting so close. I drove like 4.5 hours already, and I was driving pretty fast. Like, I only needed like another hour and a half before I actually got there because I was driving pretty fast. And then I was 200 miles away from Las Vegas, and I got a flat tire. And so as soon as that happened, my entire body was like, my entire body and mind and like soul like shut down in like 3 seconds, literally 3 seconds. I was like, holy shit, because I'm already late and I'm traveling, and it's 2 in the morning, you know, or it was actually 1 in the morning, almost 2, and it was driving me nuts. Anyway, so and I rented the car from Hertz, and so Hertz actually did a really good job. Like, I called them, I was on hold for like 7 minutes. It wasn't too bad. I've been on longer, but it was 7 minutes, and then they like had a tow truck come, just replace my wheels, you know, basically put on the spare wheel, and he came in like 20 minutes, and that was pretty fast. I was like in the middle of nowhere too. I think it was in Urno. I don't know if you know where that is, but Urno. I was there, and the guy came, switched my tires, and he goes, by the way, you can only, with the spare wheel, you can only drive 55 miles the fastest. And throughout the entire night, the reason why I got there so fast was because I had been driving like 80, 90. And so I was like, what is happening? And so the entire way, like 200 miles until I reached Las Vegas. And so I was driving 50 miles an hour because I was like, man, I don't want to risk it. Like, what if it pops again? I can't do it. So I was driving 50 the entire way, and it took me about 3.5 hours, I think. 3.5 hours or 4 hours exactly. Yeah, it's probably about almost 4 hours, because I had left at 2, and I had arrived. I left around 2 a.m. and then I arrived there around 5:30 a.m. and it was just crazy. Like, we were just going crazy over here, you know. So, anyways, I got there at 5. Went to my friends who were already in line for red carpet. Got the hotel key. Went and slept for like 2 hours. Woke up and went to three different locations just to flipping find another car so that I can switch my reservation and the car that I had reserved for me. And so I did, and that like took from 8 to like 10:45 before I actually found a car. And so then I came back, got ready around 11:15, 11:30ish, probably like almost 12, I think, before I actually went to red carpet. And then BTS came like 3 hours later, you know, and so, or like almost 3.5 hours later. And so I was out there in the hot sun, but that was basically like my entire story of the journey of like how I got to Las Vegas and like how crazy that was. Like, honestly, like in that moment, I'm not a person that usually believes in like bad omens and stuff, but I was just like, man, like, this cannot be a sign. I was like, this cannot be a sign. It's just coincidental, like pure, like it just happened. Like, and I was just thinking like it is my fault because I was driving a little Yaris, you know, and I was driving 80/90, so it makes sense that like the tire would pop, you know what I mean? And so and for that long, you know what I mean? And for that long in a little tiny car going that fast with AC, and it's just like all of these are signs as to like why that would have happened. And so I just, you know, didn't take precautions on that end. But anyways, so I got there and I totally forgot that I didn't pack clothes. I only packed my red carpet clothes and my PJs. And so I had to like wear the like my same exact clothes that I wore the day before. But anyways, yeah, I went to red carpet, met up with a few friends, and we literally just waited. And it was crazy. Like, there were so many people that I didn't expect to meet that were there. And so that was really, like, it was cool, but kind of odd for me a little bit. And so I went and I just met up with a lot of people. I mean, I had my actual, like, my usual crew people that I always meet up with, you know, Twitter friends. And then and so, yeah, I met up with my friends, but then we had, like, more people come and hang out with us, too, so it was pretty cool in that way. But it was just, like, overall, like, really interesting. Like, I didn't know how to take it in. And so, yes, anyways. But, yeah, so that's basically what's been happening, and, that was what had happened. And we were sweating super bad when we were there because it was, I think it was in three digits, like 100 something in Las Vegas. So everybody was out there dressed super nice. Like, I loved it because I've never been to an award show in America before, but everyone was like dressed really nice. Like, I am glad that I dressed up because I thought I was going to be a little overdone, or you know, like, I went for simple, but, like, simple classy, and so I'm glad that I did that because I was still dressy enough to fit in, you know. Everybody was, like, glitz and glammed, and hair and makeup and on point, you know what I mean? And so, and especially because I was going as a fangirl, I had been out there for just, like, a few hours, but I was, like, sweating so bad, you know, and so I had to, like, bring extra makeup and stuff and my Q-tips and stuff just to fix it constantly, so I didn't look like shit when I was going in there. But that was basically, like, what happened. Everybody was, like, decked out in, like, gowns and glitz and glam and suits and heels and semi-formal. Some people were super formal, like, not poofy prom dresses, but, like, just super formal, like, red carpet, you know, how you would see for the award shows. And it was really cool to see all of those people there. And then it was just awesome to see BTS too. Like, honestly, like, they were one of the first few people to come out onto the magenta carpet, but it was pretty cool, like, to see them, because, like, I saw them and I saw manager Sejin, and it just, like, blew me away because I was like, man, like, the idea of knowing that, okay, you guys are here, I'm here too, didn't seem real enough until, like, we saw them on the red carpet, until I saw them on the red carpet, and I was like, this is real. I was like, wow, like, they're nominated for Top Social Award. Oh my god, like, I was like, these bros are gonna win. And so as soon as they went on red carpet, they came out, you know, and I saw manager Sejin, he was just kind of like, you know, come on boys, let's go. And so it was just so cool, and I think it was kind of awkward too, a little bit, because side note, because I was watching a few things, like a few videos of manager Sejin and their other BTS guard, and it was, like, really odd because in Korea, like, there's, like, no interactions with fans or other celebrities. Like, there weren't many, like, there's not really, like, they would just, like, pass each other by and say hi, that's it, right? Sometimes. But then, like, in America, it was different because, like, people would stop, they would say hi, they would talk, they would take a picture, they would shake your hands, they would, like, have conversation. And, like, I felt like manager Sejin and the BTS guard were kind of, like, awkward because they were thinking, do we tell them they can't do that, or do we allow them to do that? And who are they? Like, you know what I mean? Because it was so hard, because you had, like, celebrities coming up to talk to them, and then you had celebrities like managers and celebrities like publicists, like, they were coming to talk. So, like, you don't know how their managers and their publicists' face looks like, you know, until they, like, tell you, oh yeah, I'm the, you know, manager of this person. but like most of the time it would just be like random people walking up, so I felt like they didn't really know how to like monitor that or like filter that, so they just kind of like let everyone that was backstage, that had a backstage pass, kind of like talk to them if they wanted to, you know. And that was what I noticed, because it was like when I came back from Billboard, I was like, why are there so many people? Like, it was like crazy, because I was like, fangirls even got pictures with them, and like admins for fan bases got pictures with them, and celebrities got pictures with them, like random rich people who were like barely, like people who probably hosted once on a TV show, like just once, you know, got a picture with them. And it was just crazy, because I mean, as long as you had that backstage pass or that celebrity lounge pass, you know, like everybody was like talking to them, or if you were on the floor, like a lot of people could talk to them for some reason, you know. I don't know how they filtered that, or if they knew how to filter that, but I felt like that was one of the big things that I've noticed, because it's so different in Korea that when they came over here, they were like, I don't know if we should like stop them or like not, and so they just like chose not to, as long as they don't harm the boys, you know. So they're just kind of like watching them, but it was like usually in Korea they would be like no interactions, like don't even, like if you see another K-pop star, you just say hi, you just bow, you say hi, you leave, you know. You barely talk. If you talk for like 3 seconds. But then over here it was like they were like full on conversations. Hi, how you doing? Who are you? I'm this, I'm that. Cool, that's cool. Can we take a picture? Yeah, cool, it's nice to meet you. I'm a big fan of yours. Cool. And it was like this big conversation, and I was over here like, what about me? So dumb. But yeah, it was pretty cool, like to see all of that too. And like throughout the whole entire show, I was in section 12, and so throughout the entire show I was sitting in the back-ish, and I found out where, you know, when BTS came in, everybody was kind of like glowing, but like glowing glitz, you know what I mean? And for like everyone in America is a little bit more tan, different, like all different kinds of shades, you know what I mean? But like BTS comes out and like you see like 7 guys, all like really duper similar shade, which is like super duper like whiter than the average American or the American celebrities that we had seen, the Western celebrities. And so I'm like, dang, like you just see these 7 guys like super nicely dressed, Asian, and like suits and white skin, glowing. Like as soon as I walk in, it was just like glowing. And it's not because I it's not because I'm biased towards them, but you can just tell like that's BTS, because they were glowing. Like their entire being was like glowing, because their faces are just so white, and the highlighter and everything. And so I was like, man, like that was awesome. So the entire show I was I had my digital camera, and I was like zooming in to like watch them, like the entire show. I was like watching them, and it kind of sounds creepy, but it wasn't creepy. The only reason why I was doing that, let me explain. The only reason why I was doing that was because I was trying to see if they were gonna have any artist like interactions with other artists there, you know, and which they did, you know. Like I caught a video of Russell Crowe talking to Tay, and you know, like Halsey came, took a picture with them, and a few people came, said hi. Like I don't know who they were, but like there was just like a lot of like that floor was just filled with so many celebrities, and everybody was just down there talking to each other, and BTS being their respectful selves, you know. Most of the time when somebody won, they would stand up and clap, you know, just because that's what they do in the Korean culture as well. But they did that, and it was just really cool. And especially like the Chainsmokers part, like Chainsmokers was gonna come on and perform, and they're like Chainsmokers, and like J-Hope just like stands up, and he's like the only one up by himself, and like Yoongi just like stands up with him, puts his hand on his shoulder, and then they just both slowly go down into their seats. And I'm like watching this whole thing happen to my video camera, and I just took a picture because I didn't think that was gonna happen. So I just like randomly like snapped a picture, and I got it, and it was like a blurry picture, but it was like the funniest thing in the world, like seeing that. Like you can just tell they got close to Chainsmokers in that time. But I mean, it was so cool to like just see them, and I think it was a super duper new experience with BTS as well. So they didn't really interact much. What they did was they sat and observed and listened and tried to talk to as many people as they could that came to talk to them. They wouldn't go because they're not that comfortable yet like that, and it was just cool. Like, it was their very first experience ever experiencing an American award show, and so they just kind of like soaked it all in, and all of their favorite stars and celebrities and artists and stuff, that all of the people that they look up to, like, were there, like a lot of them. And so it was cool. Like, I'm really glad that we got to see the fanboys, you know, literally BTS become fanboys. And like Namjoon, he got up a few times, went to use the bathroom or something, came back, got up, went back, came back, got up, went back. And he did that like 2-3 times, or I think it was for like 3 times, yeah. And it just, you know, he was, you know, nervous. And even when they won, like, they were like super proud, but then as soon as he got up there and he like was, you know what I mean, like, he just stood up, they all stood up, got up there, and then as soon as like they turned around to like look at everyone, it was like, this is really happening, you know. And I could just see the like the shock in like Ratmon's face, and he was like trying so hard to compose himself, like, thank you so much, and he just had to close his eyes and like, what did I rehearse, you know, and say that. And so I'm pretty sure you guys saw that on Billboard, but it was just, I mean, on the, you know, on TV, but it was really amazing to see that, to see them win Top Social Artist Award. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I mean, there weren't that very many ARMYs, but there were at the same time. You know, I was really surprised. I would say there was probably about 200 ARMYs, maybe, in there, you know, screaming for them. Maybe 300 even, you know, ARMYs in there screaming for them. Outside, there was probably about 300 to 400 ARMYs outside waiting for red carpet, and inside, a lot of them were there too. And it's funny because you could tell the fangirls look totally different. Like, the fangirls are kind of like semi-casual, semi-formal, or like super casual, you know. And so it was cool because I had ARMYs sitting around me. Like, I had 3 behind me and I had 1 next to me from China, and it was just so cool to like talk to them, because I was like, are you there for BTS? She was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, if they win, let's fangirl. Because like, I don't want to be by myself, you know, like, I came by myself. And so she was like, yeah, let's do it. And as soon as they won, like, everybody was just like, we were just standing up. Everyone else around us was like, what the heck? You know, like, what is that? Okay. But for us, we were like, yeah, BTS, and it was just so funny. Like, it was awesome. But I'm so proud of them too. And it seemed like as soon as they got to Las Vegas, they met up with so many people. It seemed like they had fun, you know, being there. And so that's what I care about the most, is like, how is their well-being? Like, how do they feel? How are they doing? Like, I thought it was crazy. Like, why are you guys gonna come to Billboard in the middle of this tour? That doesn't make sense. I know you have time off, but like, what? Like, that didn't make sense to me. But like, I feel like they genuinely enjoyed themselves being there. Like, despite the time difference and all of the interviews, like, it was a thrilling thing to experience because they had won in the Western, like, music culture, you know, like, they won something there, and it was just kind of literally like a foot in the door. And it was, and like, you know, I definitely believe like what Ratmon said too. Like, yes, K-pop has, like, personally, yes, K-pop has been introduced into America in the Western music, you know, through Psy and CL right now and stuff, and Big Bang and stuff. But my point is, like, BTS won this award mainly because of the fans. Like, I would have to say it is definitely because of the fans and the dedication and the voting that had happened. Like, if they were nominated but did not win, then like, it probably, like, it wouldn't have been as significant. Like, it would have been significant because they came out and people finally saw them and met them and probably heard a little bit about them, don't know much about them. But the fact that they came and won and received that award and spoke English, like, it was just like, whoa, like, who are you guys? What's happening? And everybody wanted to know that, you know? And so I just definitely think that it was definitely, like, all of the fans that Ratmon says, all the fans all over the world, seriously, I think it is, though, you know, for the hard work that all of the ARMYs put together, even the new ones, the old ones, the super old ones, the extra old ones, the very fresh new ones, everyone that just participated in voting a little bit, you know, thank you guys for allowing BTS to win that award. You know, I feel like that was definitely a stepping stone into their career, and it's definitely like helping open doors to more collaborations and making more music in the future with different artists and different flavors of music and genres. And so that was really cool to see. And at the end of the show, they literally got up. Like, as soon as Drake finished his speech, they stood up and left. Like, they bolted out of there, like, right away. So I don't know, like, why they were doing that. Like, maybe they just wanted to beat the traffic, the crowd. Then maybe they wanted to, maybe they reserved at a restaurant, wanted to go eat, you know, and beat the crowd. And because Las Vegas in itself was, despite the top social, like, despite BBMAs happening, it's really busy anyways. There's hella people there all the time. And so maybe they wanted to beat all of that traffic and stuff. But then they went to LA, had all those and stuff. So anyways, I'm talking a lot, it's 21 minutes. But anyways, that was my entire experience, and I'm just really glad that I got to go and witness and see them. And yeah, that's pretty much all I'm gonna say. I'm just really proud of them, and they're in Australia right now, which is the last show for the Wings tour before they actually just spend 1 month in Japan. And so I'm super excited for them. Yeah. Bye guys.